Episode 1 of the podcast. Today we have Jordan Binning on, which out of every single person I've ever met in my life is one of the people that I am truly inspired by. And to have him as my first guest, I'm super excited. Just watch how this guy operates, thinks, speaks. You guys are going to really enjoy the show. Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah.
I'm super stoked you're here. You're my first podcast guest.
Let's do it.
I've ran a few podcasts, but not like took it serious or like been excited to like actually share it.
Yeah.
And so I'm super stoked that you're here. I know you're super busy, but
I'm grateful.
I obviously have a lot to say about you. But tell these people where you're from, your kind of background when it comes to the door-to-door and what makes you you.
Yeah, let's do it. From Seattle, Washington. I was born in Canada. Moved to Seattle middle of 8th grade. Got into door-to-door because a buddy at the time, his brother was like, hey, I was playing college baseball, I tore my quad. And I came back from my mission on LDS, came back from my mission, and I was kind of over baseball. I was like, dude, I need to go make money. And his brother was like, dude, you can go make 50 grand selling alarms. At the time, I had like $20 in my bank account, and I was just on a scholarship for baseball. I was like, dude, if I could make 5 grand, I'd be stoked. So me and my buddy at the time, we'd go out. 2008, I brought like 5 buddies out. Worked for a company called Vision Security. All my buddies left within like the first 2 weeks. You know, I don't know if you know the story. I blanked my first 3 weeks, didn't sell anything.
Yeah.
I was the last person in the office to sell. I finished top rookie in the company that year. And it kind of changed, like the last 2 months of that summer changed like the trajectory of my life. Because at that point I was like, dude, this job sucks. I mean, I still said today, I think this is the worst job in America when you don't sell.
Yeah.
It's the greatest job in America when you sell. And so that was 2008. I worked at a company called Vision for 5 years. Ended up, by the end, you know, I was a top rep in the industry. I had ran a really good team, and then Blackstone had bought Vivant. And Vivant was kind of like the Yankees, like the Dodgers. Like if you play for them, great. If you don't, you hate them. And I'm not from Utah, so I was going to school at BYU Hawaii, out of this scene. Didn't really understand like how the door-to-door scene worked. And
That's 5 years in, you still had no idea.
Not really. No, I sold 430. Get a call, and my buddy had like recruited me. He was the VP at Vivant, Jason Brown, Scott Brown, two brothers. They've been recruiting me year after year. So I'd sign with Vivant and then kind of go back to what I knew. Kind of the same thing everyone says. I'm loyal. I could call the owner. I work for this small company. And, you know, I think the last year Todd hit it on its head, and he was like, dude, you work for Blockbuster. He's like, the fact that you could call the owner and he answers isn't a green flag, it's a red flag.
Yeah.
And then he's like, the fact that you can go anywhere in America, because that was my thing, I can go in any area. There's not a draft, I don't have to go here. And he's like, the fact that you can go anywhere, it's not a red flag. I mean, not a green flag, it's a red flag.
Right.
And it just really got me thinking, and I was sitting in class, honestly, and like, Blackstone had just bought Vivant. They gave him a bunch of money to go headhunt like the top talent in the industry. And I was sitting in class, and they were like, we'll give you this much to come. And I was like, done. Like, it was a number I couldn't say no to.
Yeah.
And of that, I kind of split it out. I had a team of 15 dudes, really good dudes though. And like 12 of them are still here today.
Fire.
So we've all worked together for what? That was end of 2012. And so there's been a lot of us. I have 2 buddies I've worked with since 2010. So we go to Vivant. I was there for 8 years. Had a lot of success. It was awesome. And then about 5 years ago, we started Rise Energy, and we've rebranded it to Nusun Power. And sky's the limit. It's been amazing.
Yeah. That's a dope.
Yeah, it's been good.
I would say a lot of people, especially now that I came here, obviously a lot of the OGs know who you are.
Yeah.
Me working at Vivant, everybody just said your name. It's like, dude, this guy ran circles around everybody. And it's like, that's your one-liner that you always use. It's like, dude, I run circles around these guys.
Yeah.
So you went to Vivant. What was your production like at Vivant? And now what are you doing over here?
The biggest thing I learned at Vivant was selling is just a fraction of selling's just a fraction of the overall like skill set you need as a leader to go conquer.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of times I was just really good at selling. And when I went to Vivant, and dude, I remember like going there, people were like, dude, do it here, do it, you have to do it here. Like, this is the big leagues. And there was like an influx of like good talent, people you worked for over there and other groups where we were like, whatever, all right, we'll do it here. And so I think my first year I was top rep by a mile. I sold 450. But at Vivant, what I learned was there was a lot of people, I don't think better than me selling. There's a lot of people better at the job of like better leaders, better creating vision, better duplicating. And that's like if I take like my time at Vivant, what I learned, it was that. Like I became a really good leader. I was around Jason Brown, I was around Scott Brown, I was around Casey Ball, Jeff Mendez, Bodie, all those dudes that Cody Babel, Jared Young, all my bosses at one point. I feel like I learned a lot from them, and they were way better at the job at the time than I was.
Yeah.
And I think for me on leadership and what I learned there was I was grateful to have leaders that were better than me, because I put a huge price tag on that. Like when I go to bed at night, are the people above me better than me? And if they're not, you gotta leave. You're in the wrong system. But if they're better than you, are they pulling you to their level? And like there, I could honestly say like they were better than me at the time. I was super grateful and I learned a lot. Not just being good at selling, I was already good at selling, but how can you go duplicate? How can you go inspire? How can you go duplicate yourself? How can you go build teams, build trust, build vision? Those were the things I learned there.
Yeah.
And then, so I learned that.
How long did it take you to become a good leader? And like, what was, like for me, when I first started, it was like, dude, recruiting was super easy.
Yeah.
But then it's like, you have to learn how to balance friendships and business. And you got to learn how to balance like letting go of control, right? I feel like a lot of times in my career, it's like letting go of control to let other people do it when it's like, dude, I know I can do it best, but this guy is going to leave me if I don't give him the spotlight. But at the same time, it's like, do I give him the spotlight and let the business crumble, or is it that's what's actually holding me back from getting to the next step? Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think you said it best. Like for me, I remember it vividly, and I'm not going to go into the story, but like I'll go into some of it. It was 2014. I was flying to a blitz, and I was going on this blitz. Basically, I had a bunch of my buddies. They all still work here today. This is 2014. Well, what is that? Almost 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And going on a blitz, and I land, and my phone's blowing up like crazy. And I was like, this, and it's completely unrelated to this. So I'm going on this blitz knowing that I'm going there to like go in the fire of like my guy. They're not upset, but they wanted more. They all basically wanted to run their own team because they wanted the full stack type thing. And it had reached a point where I realized like, dude, if you're not talking to your people every day, if you're not inspiring your people every day, if you're not giving them what they want or a path to get there, they're gonna go follow someone else to go get that. And I land, and I land, and my friend had just passed away surfing.
Dang.
My best friend, you'll probably meet him one day, they were surfing together in Puerto Rico at our other friend's wedding. I had 400 texts. I'm like, my head's all over the place. And I'm like, I gotta leave. So I booked a flight, I flew out, I'm flying out the next day. I basically go to this to go face it like head on. All right guys, I'm leaving tomorrow, let's put it all out there. And the biggest thing I realized is like everyone wants more, and if you can't go give them more, they're gonna go work for someone else. So when you say, hey, when did you figure out how to be a good leader? Being a good leader is like a never-ending pursuit of like getting better and refining. Like even today, I look at like things I know I can be better at, and I make a list, usually every Sunday, like this is what I'm focusing on this week. I don't think it ever ends. But I think my time there allowed me to realize like, dude, people don't wanna work for you, they want to work with you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And for me, it's like, dude, I want guys to feel like I'm their friend.
On the same
hear
level.
them. I'm their best friend, but I'm on the same level. Like, I'm not your boss. I don't let people call me that. People don't usually call me that because they know I don't like that. Like, we're going to war together, and I'm not going to ask you to go do something that I wouldn't do.
Right.
Or that what I've done. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in those fires. I've faced those storms. And like, I've been through them and survived, and you can too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For sure. That's dope. I feel like, and just another question on that, I'm all for like my guys feeling like, hey, we're all on the same playing field. The thing that I noticed that I have problems with is like these guys maybe at some point get entitled, where it's like you can butt heads and the egos can get involved. And I'm sure you were probably like, dude, just step out of the way. I don't care to be the face, which a lot of these guys want to be the face so bad. How do you balance like the people that's like, dude, I want more of the spotlight? Because like, for example, and nothing against some of the guys that you work with, but like, dude, we walk into a recruiting meeting, everybody's like fanboying over you, and your leaders are probably just like, dang, I want that. You know what I mean? And some people get envious and jealous. I'm sure you've probably dealt with people that work for you being envious and jealous of you because you gave them a little too much. Like, how do you balance that?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I think about that a lot.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like that effect. You walk in the room, and like you said, they're like, oh, and I'm like, I try and just like make it seem like, I try and make sure when I'm in those meetings that it's like, dude, I praise the dude that they're gonna go work for.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I'm gonna bow out. You're gonna be working with this guy.
Right.
And you need to know like this guy's taking you to the promised land. And so I try and make sure I do a good job in that meeting, making sure I'm hyping up who they're actually gonna work for. But to your point, like, dude, I'm big on like, who's running this ship? Who's steering this thing? And like, is that guy gonna die for him? Okay, then I'll die for him. Cause like, I take like when I was at Vivant, it's like, dude, eventually me and Todd, like, yeah, I could talk to Todd or whatever. When I first got there, Todd was like a mystery ghost. Like, we didn't like, he recruited me, but like, that was it, right? Like, but I knew like Jason Brown would die for him and I would die for Jason because Jason and Scott pulled me to a level I would have never got to if it wasn't for them. Casey Ball, Mendez, others included. And so like, I think for me, I just try and make sure like, take the ego aside. Like, dude, what's the end game? The end game's to like go home at night and my kids run and like be like, I love you.
For sure.
Like the end game is not to be worshipped by some kids. Like, you know what I mean? Like the end game's to go help people make the most amount of money they possibly could working with me. Or don't work here. You get what I'm saying? Like, my job as a leader is to make sure when I go to bed tonight, my guys are in the best possible situation to make the most amount of money and they're progressing in leadership year over year. And for me, I try and judge it on like, do they make more money working with me than they would working somewhere else? And if I can answer yes and do everything in my power to make sure I can answer yes and they can answer yes, we're in a good spot.
Yeah. I remember, and I know you're passionate about it, which you should be. But when it comes to the earnings that your people make, I think you take a lot of pride in that, which is great.
For sure.
And you send out these numbers to people where it's like 2 mil, 1.7, 1.5, whatever. And I think a lot of people see it, it's like, oh, it's just normal, like that's just a company. But I don't think people realize like you should be so proud that like, yo, this is the money that the people that chose to follow me make and put in their bank account. Like that's fucking insane.
For sure.
But why would you say that like, there is very few people in the industry. Everybody, it's either, dude, the leaders are making a lot of money, and their guys are kind of coasting by, or it's like, dude, everybody's fucking printing bread. How do you feel like you differentiate yourself, where people are actually printing bread when they work for you?
Yeah, and I do take a big pride. I do take big pride in that because it's the only scorecard we have. You know what I mean? Like even a parrot can talk. Everyone in the industry, we're the best. We're this. No, look at this number. We skewed it and it's now called this and now we're number one. It's like, no, dude, the only indicator is what hits your people's bank account. That's the only indicator of success. And you can throw all these numbers, have all these percentages. The only thing that matters is what hits your people's bank account. That's it. That's the only scorecard we have. And that's why why I take pride in that is because, dude, I slept in Motel 6s with some of those dudes. I've been in the gutter with those dudes. I've been in the trenches with those dudes. I recruited that dude when he was 18 wearing basketball shorts and had to decide between buying bread or peanut butter. And now he's a millionaire pulling up in a Ferrari. I've been there. I take pride in that because I went to fucking war with that dude. You know what I mean? And so I take a lot of pride in that because it's like, bro, those are not my people, but like we're a family. Like we're doing this together. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing I think if you'd ask anyone that works here. And dude, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. It's the NFL. Like, dude, you're either good enough to be here or you're not. You know what I mean? And if you're not, it's okay. There's a lot of homes for you somewhere else. Like we probably will never hear your name again, and that's okay. You know what I mean? But like for me, it's like, dude, if you work here, I have a duty to make sure you make life-changing money. And I'm big on like, what did you make when you first came here and what do you make now? And that number better look like that. It better be up, right?
Let me ask you about that and then we can transition off a different topic. So people like myself come in and you're like, hey dude, it is like for me, when people come and work for me, I'm sure with all the stuff that's ever been said about you, when someone trusts you, it's like, bro, I'm not gonna fucking let you down. You know what I mean? The problem that I run into is like, people come into the program and it's like, I know that if you're working directly with me, homie, we're going to the fucking promised land. But at the same time, dude, you got so much on your fucking plate. Like you got a family, you got the leadership, you got the I mean, there's so much that I don't know. And I feel like setting expectations properly is probably key in business. But it's like, dude, there's got to be a point where it's like, how do you even know how to set the expectations properly? And do you ever feel like it eats you alive inside, feeling like, dude, I'm doing a million things, but this kid that's like 4 layers down from me, I feel like I'm not providing him enough value, and I told him I was going to, and it eats me alive inside. Like, do you deal with that?
No, because no, I feel like I don't, because the best availability is availability.
Yeah.
The best ability is availability.
For sure.
You know what I mean? And like you look at, and like, dude, I don't have Instagram, but like you look at like anything on like the most successful people, what are they good at? They're fast. They're good with speed. They communicate well. They're 10 out of 10 communicators. They get back to you quickly. Like the thing I pride myself on is like, dude, there's dudes 4 levels down that think they can text me and it's normal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And honestly, if you took a step back,
that's fucking dope.
It's probably not normal.
Yeah, it's
you know
not.
what I mean? But like if they text me, like I'm texting back.
Homie, what's crazy is I remember when we were first meeting.
Yeah.
Kel, he made a comment. He's like, dude, Jordan knew who like one of the setters were, the 4th top setter check when he was going over pay.
Yeah.
Like just that alone. And you already know this, but it's like the thing that I see. And dude, I've been in the game for 8 years now.
Yeah.
I've worked with honestly some of the best leaders in the industry, and none of them even slightly compare to the level that you operate as a leader.
Appreciate it.
These like there's so many leaders out there. It's just like a bunch of clowns that I would put it. Like they get to, okay, I'm a regional now, and now it's just let's just stay right here the best that we can and just keep recycling, where it's like, what, obviously you aren't like, hey dude, we got 1,000 reps, we're chilling.
Yeah.
Why the fuck are you like, let's go to 5,000? Because I can tell you got a crazy amount of hunger to just run circles around everybody.
Yeah, because that's what wakes me up. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I love the chase, I love the war, I love the recruiting, and like you talk about when people say all this stuff about you and me, I don't hear it. Like, I get talked about, not confronted. You know what I mean? Like, I get talked about, not confronted, because no one sits there and says it. You know what I mean? So it's like, and dude, do I care about those people's opinion? I care about the people's opinions who I work with, who actually know me. And those dudes will take a knife and a bullet for me. And I would do the same for them.
Do you ever feel like, so you got fired from Vivant.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Everybody has a story to say.
Sure.
I'm sure there was probably a lot of emotions during that time, whether it's like, fuck you, like I was the poster boy here, and now you're saying this, and I'm sure there was sadness and like fear, whatever it was. When it comes from people like saying, hey, this person's like this, do you ever felt like internally having to prove a point at any point of your career because of what people have said about you?
No, dude, because what people don't realize who talk is I probably don't even know who they are.
Yeah.
And I for sure don't care about what they say.
Yeah.
And
why? How?
Because, dude, they're irrelevant in my equation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And in my life.
It's easier said than done.
It's easier said than done. The thing I'll say too is like, dude, you probably make it a bigger deal in your head than it actually is.
For sure.
And Mendez will always talk to me about that. Another thing too, when you talk about sadness, is like, dude, we all have a sad story. I think if you threw your problems in a circle, you probably pick your own problems. And like people go through different stuff in life, marriage, work. And like, yeah, dude, I've had some like abrasive in your face experiences in work, and like, it's made me who I am, and I'm super grateful for it. And I see dudes at the place I work for who are high up over there at the gym. You've seen them too. And it's like, we're good. We're chilling. I hope they dominate. Don't care. It's irrelevant in my equation. We don't even sell the same thing. And it's all, you know, like, and dude, what I would say is like, I get talked about, not confronted. And if someone wants to confront, let's talk about it. You know what I mean? At the same time, it's like, bro, success trumps everything. Tom Brady had Deflategate. Does anyone talk about it? No, they talk about him being the best ever. So success trumps noise, always, right? And so when it's like, hey, yeah, we have 1,000 reps, we'll do 120 million in revenue, that's nothing, dude. Until it's $1 billion, that's nothing. And I'm gonna, like, people are like, oh, your eyes are bloodshot. My eyes have been bloodshot for 15 years, homie. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because there's a lot of work to do.
Why?
Because there's a lot of work to do. And I'm gonna go do it. And we're gonna go do it better than
Why do you
else.
feel like you care so much? And why do you feel like people would get to your position and then just stop?
I can't speak for them because I'm not wired that way. But dude, this is the game I signed up for. And the game I signed up for is to go be the best. And dude, I'm also very self-aware, and like, there's good opportunities out there. I'm big on goods to enemy to great. What's your addressable market? Who are you targeting? What can you go do? What impact can you have? And like, I want to be in control of that vehicle. And I feel like I am, and we're just getting started. And I think there's a huge opportunity, a huge platform to exploit, and there'll be more, and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna do it at a very high level like we've always done and continue to do.
Do you ever feel like you have you have days where it's just like, damn, it would be normal to just like live a normal life, or it'd be good to just live a normal life for once, like just chill out, because you could.
Yeah.
You don't need to do this. You don't need to do the fucking 16-hour days, full effort, full focus, stress every day.
No, stress is good though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't have bad stress. I have busy stress. And like, it's good. It means we're growing.
100%.
This is what I'd say, what people don't realize too, is like you said, oh, you got fired. I've been fired a couple times from that place. But like, both times were very different. The second time, there's no emotion. It was something we dealt with for a long time. The first time, a lot of emotion. But I've also dealt with it where my phone, I'd wake up to like 70 texts in the morning, and then you're fired, you have no control, you can't help anyone, and within 2 weeks, no one texts you. And that feeling is the most sick feeling in the world, where you're like, dude, I'm useless. So like when people are like, oh dude, you work, you're stressed, you're busy, your eyes are bloodshot. Thank God, dude. Because I'm making money and like having an impact on a lot of people. Like I'm literally super grateful for it, because I've been on the other side where your phone doesn't ring, you have no power, you can't do anything, and it's terrible. It's terrible. And I never want to go back to that life again.
Right on. I have a couple questions, personal questions. What do you feel like you struggle with the most?
In what sense?
Just like in life. Like, what do you feel like you struggle with the most from a personal standpoint? Like whether it's compassion, or it's like insecurity, or it's fear, or it's like not thinking big enough. Where are you trying to get better?
That's a good question. Not insecurity. I'm big on execution. I think execution is worship. I think executing is everything. Everyone talks about a plan. Everyone has a vision. Everyone writes down goals. Your ability to execute is the separating factor between good and great. From like a personal standpoint, I'm big on like, how am I raising my kids? Am I present? Am I there? Do I give them enough time? How can I give them more time? How do I give them better experiences? Like, that's what I think about more than probably people think about. You know what I mean? And mainly because it's like, dude, at the end of the day, in 20 years from now, no one's gonna remember how hard you worked or how late you worked other than your kids.
Yeah. Right on. And so you're just saying consciously like being a good dad.
For sure.
Yeah.
And it's something I probably struggle with that I want to keep like focusing on to be better.
Yeah. What do you feel like is the number one thing that just makes you great?
Am I great? I don't know. I think I know that I will outwork anyone.
Yeah.
And like
what does that mean to you though?
It means like a lot of things, but like if I summarize, like I know that at the end of the day, if it comes strictly to work ethic, I will win.
Yeah.
And I know I'm in full control of that. And more importantly is like, dude, I think I have a track record of success of a lot of dudes that have followed, and we've done it together. I think, dude, as a leader, you get the praise, but you get the bullets too when things are bad, right? And you have to be ready to take on both experiences and both situations. At the same time, like, dude, your impact as a leader is how many people follow the plan, follow the vision, follow you, and what are they making and where are they going? Are they better humans? Are they better fathers? Are they better people? Do they make more money? Like, there's a lot of boxes to go check. And I think sometimes we think of leadership as like, this guy sells this. Like, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many different levels of leadership and the depth of leadership. And I think as we progress in this job we're focusing on a lot more than how many do people sell.
Yeah.
You know?
When it comes to work ethic, you ever get tired?
Yeah.
Like, do you ever just feel like I don't want to do this shit right now?
No, I'm always tired, but like I'll die tired. Yeah. But like, there's never a point where I'm like, man, I don't want to do this.
It's like when you wake up in the morning, is it? And I know this is like maybe a dumb question to you, but I promise you, people want to hear this shit.
Yeah.
You wake up in the morning, alarm goes off, or you just wake up. Yeah. Just curious.
Oh no, I set my alarm 5:05.
Alarm goes off, you're like, fuck this shit every morning.
No, let's go.
Let's get to work.
Yeah, let's get to work.
Okay. Yeah. Where could you work harder? Like, there's got to be like a threshold where it's like, dude, are you actually 110% intentional every detail that you're in? Or is it like you get to a point where it's just comfortable to just coast because you're that guy and you can just coast and it's easy?
I don't think you can coast and be that guy for a long time.
Yeah.
I think that guy gets his head cut off or gets left behind the minute he thinks he's that guy. Like, I don't think I'm that guy. I don't walk around thinking, these people know who I am. And I don't give a damn if they know who I am. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, there's a reason I don't have social media. Like, I'm in my lane, I'm in my element, like, I'm in the box and I'm going. You know what I mean? Like, I have a mission to accomplish and I'm gonna go accomplish it, right? Yeah. And there's a lot of people betting on me to go accomplish that, right? So it's like, dude, I'm not worried about the noise. I'm not worried about if someone liked my post. I don't care. I mean, I'm here. You know what I mean?
Where could you work harder?
At being a better dad.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're not a good dad, or do you feel like you're just really hard on yourself?
No, I think I'm a really good dad. But I think like you can never spend too much time with your kids. And so like that's where I look at it like, dude, I work a lot. I love working. I'm obsessed with work. But like you can always spend more time with your kids. So like there's not like a box where like I've checked like I spent enough time with it. There's never enough time. You know what I mean? So like I could always be better at
How do you find the balance between like, because obviously as a dad, you gotta lead from the front. You gotta inspire. You gotta show them what it's like to work hard. You gotta be a leader of who you are as a person, but also spend the time. And so it's like, how do you balance that while you're running a business of knowing like, yo, is it not enough time even though I'm present? How do you balance that? Because like, I feel like if I had kids right now, I want to fucking dominate in business so bad, and I know that when I went home, it's all about dominating at the home and being present at home. But if I was gone, I feel like I would almost feel like super anxious that like I feel bad that I'm not at home.
Yeah, but I also think like I want them to know like dad works his ass off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like I think they know that, and I think as they grow up, they're gonna know that and respect that, and why they work so hard. Like, why do I work so hard? Like, I want them to understand, like, why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, like, dude, I don't, like, beat myself up on it. I just think it's a box that you can never, like, fully check off. Like, there's always more time you can give your kids, and I want to make sure I give them as much as possible.
Right on. Couple more things. So you went on a mission when you were, what, 19?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
Toronto, Canada.
Right on. Your hometown?
I lived there, yeah. I lived there for 9 years growing up.
Okay. Was it English, Spanish?
English.
Right on.
Yeah.
What about like when it comes to your faith now? Do you feel like faith has been a big factor in your life? Do you feel like there's been ups and downs? Where do you feel like you stand with faith now? Because I feel like, especially when you have so much to give to the world, like, and like God has given you so many tools, it's like, dude, the pathway of faith and like staying fully committed in that and putting in maximum effort in that sometimes can be really hard.
Yeah.
When we're chasing the business, you know?
Yeah, I try not let money get in the way of anything I believe and what I actually know is real. And dude, I have
What is real?
Good question. And I think real is relative to everyone in their own situation and their own perspective.
Yeah.
I have friends that believe certain things that no longer believe certain things. I grew up with like no LDS friends. There's just certain things that have happened in my life that can't sway what I believe.
For sure.
And that's fine. And like my friends can do whatever they want, and they know that we're friends regardless. And I think my friends, that's a big thing I'd say, is my friends know, like I do not judge, like, and I'm not perfect, but like I'm not judging them for whatever they do. But there's certain things that have happened in my life that I just fully believe. And I think when it comes to faith, like I think we're all children of God, and we're put on here for a purpose. And I'm like a big believer in blessings. I'm a big believer in like, do X, Y, and Z and you'll get this. And I'm a big believer in like, dude, God is using all of us for a plan and a purpose, and understanding what that plan is, what that purpose is, and magnifying that plan and purpose is like our duty here on earth. And I want to make sure that like I'm aligned with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. I feel like, and maybe you don't even realize it, but it seems like you're just super grounded and like your roots are planted on like what you actually believe.
Yeah, I mean, and
what's important.
I say this all the time, so you probably heard me say it, but like the world will ask you who you are, and if you don't know, it will tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I know who I am. That's why when you talk about like, these people said this, like you blew up at that other place after I was already gone.
Yeah.
I heard your name, you probably heard my name, but like, for me, it's like, dude, I know who I am. My friends know who I am. My wife and kids know who I am. Like,
how important is it to like actually be able to answer that question, like, who am I?
Oh, it's super important.
If you were to ask yourself, like, who am I? Who is Jordan?
Yeah.
How would you respond to that?
You already answered it. Like, I'm grounded. I know who I am. I know what's happened in my life, why it's happened, and I'm grateful for it's happened, the good and the bad.
Yeah.
So that's why we talk about, when you got fired, I'm grateful.
Yeah.
Dude, I would not be here today if that did not
100%.
happen. Like, I'm super, super grateful.
It all works
And
out.
I think understanding and viewing problems with a long-term horizon, a long-term perspective, like, life happens for you, like for a reason, and it happens to you, and you got to understand and be grateful in the moment and understand that, like, dude, there's a bigger plan, there's a bigger play going on, and you're a part of that play. And for me, it's like, dude, I try not to get too high, get too low. Why? Because, dude, I've been at the top and rocked. I've been at the bottom, worked my way to the top. I bounced back. Like, I know who I am. I know I can bounce back. I've been through the fires. I walked through the storm, and like nothing can stop me.
You feel like that's where like your confidence comes from?
For sure.
Like, just you have like an extreme confidence, and people have probably told you this like your entire life. Like, that's what they're attracted to about you. Like, they want that. They want to be that. Like, how do you get that? Because it's simple to say, like, dude, just be a dog. But it's ever since I've seen you, like, every single thing you're doing, high level. Everything you do it at a high level, and I can tell you're focused. But like, how?
Yeah, and I think be a dog is a trend everyone says in the industry. He's a dog. Like, what does that mean? It's like, dude, you're a dog until you go through a storm, until you get attacked. Like, you know what I mean? Like, dude, you know how much of a dog you are when you go through the hard things. And I always like, you know, the 10 to 12 days, the hard days in your life, like, that shows you who you are. That like reveals to you who you are in your darkest moment. Like, not when the lights are bright, bro. You know what I mean? In the darkest moment, that's when you realize who you are. And I think for me, it's like, I know who I am. I know what I'm gonna go do. I'm gonna go do it. And take a step back. Everything I said we were gonna go do, we've done it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna go do it again. And we're gonna keep doing it at a very high level. And like, no one's stopping that. You know what I mean? Like, no one's getting in the way. People have tried to get in the way and they got ran over.
Yeah, for sure. Do you ever have moments in your, I mean, either now or in your career where you just were like, I'm the fucking guy? Like, at any point in your career, because I feel like there's times in my career where my confidence is like that's like where my emotional lies. Like, sometimes I walk into situations and I'm afraid, insecure, and sometimes I'm at the gym like this morning, like, I'm the fucking guy here, where the bitch is at. You know what I mean? And I feel like it's really caused like just like such a roller coaster.
Yeah, and I think back in the day, I probably thought more like that.
Yeah.
But like, the minute you think you're the guy is the minute you get rocked.
100%.
And like, I think for me, it's like, dude, I'm aware that there's a lot of talent in business. There's a lot of talent in even the solar and door-to-door space. And I'm very like big on like, if you're killing it somewhere, like, I have a lot of respect for that. If you're a business owner, you're still in business, I have a lot of respect for it. I know what it takes. I know what it's like to go leverage my rental properties and hope something works out. I did it. You know what I mean? And so like, for me, it's like, dude, I'm not judging my life if I'm the best in business. You know what I mean? Like, that's not like who I'm trying to be. Am I trying to be amazing and fulfill on what I say I'm gonna go do and go execute at a high level? 100%. Yeah. But like, that's not like the test of like who I wanna be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At the same time, I want people to know, like, yo, I looked that dude in the eye, and that dude will run me over.
Right.
You know what I mean? And especially in business. And like,
would you say that's like arrogance, or would you say it's like?
No, I don't think I'm arrogant. I just know who I am. I'm competitive. I have drive. I have passion.
There's levels to this game type mindset.
100%.
Yeah.
And like, for me, the level is like, dude, you're not killing me.
Yeah.
Like, get out of the way.
Yeah.
Go.
Just don't waste your time.
100%.
Do you ever have, I guess we'll stay on this topic, I have a question on that. Is there like anybody, and obviously every point of your career, things can change, whether it's like, dude, you're in high school and the kid stole your girl in baseball, whatever it is, right? Yeah. And then it's in Vivant, this guy's talking shit. Is there like people in your life right now where it's like, you just want to fucking run circles around them?
No, because I try and like, if there was, they wouldn't even be in my equation. Like, but there's not. There's like, I'm not waking up trying to prove this person wrong. Like, I hope, and like, dude, I hope people at other companies win. And I know there's people at other companies who get jealous when we take their guys, this, that. Like, I'm good. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I have friends at other places, competitors even. And like, I don't wake up thinking, I'm gonna prove this guy wrong. Like, the people I've wanted to prove wrong, I already have. You know what I mean? So it's like, we're still here, right? Like, people love that term. It's like, for 5 years deep, dude. We started solar, 7 months later, they were ending the tax credits. The word on the street was solar's dead in 7 months when the tax credits get ended. Well, they got extended, they've been extended again. We're still here, we're dominating, we just had our best year ever. It is what it is.
Easy
you know
money,
what I mean?
right?
I'm not worried about outside perspective that don't know anything about the space.
Yeah. Everybody that's not in solar thinks they know everything about
100%.
solar.
Everyone's the expert, not in the
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Couple more questions and we'll wrap it up. One, have you ever had health issues in your life that like affected your performance?
No.
Never. Thank God.
Yeah.
If your life was a movie and people are watching the movie right now, what do you think they'd be screaming at you in your life right now to tell you to do, or to stop doing, or to change? Like, hey, you're the superhero of this movie. They're screaming at you. Why are you not doing this? Why are you not taking the leap and the jump to go do X, Y, Z?
I think I got screamed at like 10 months ago. And I'm not gonna tell like the outcome of it.
Yeah.
I'll share it with you offline.
Yeah.
And it was like a wake up call for me to go do this, not something different than this, but like something else.
Yeah.
And we're now doing it.
Fire.
And so like for me, like I try and pay attention to the little voices so they don't become screams. You know what I mean? Like I try and pay attention to that. I think at the end of the day too, it's like the biggest thing people need to realize is like, dude, you can always do more. Like you can always work harder. You can always do more. You can always think bigger. You can always create more vision for your people. You can always uplift people. You can always compliment. Like you can always do more. And I think for me, it's, I had like an aha moment like 10 months ago. And I listened to that and I executed on it and it's going. Amazing. You know, and then like the things that transpired over the last 10 months and where we are today, like there's a lot that kind of ties into it, and that's probably for a different podcast in a couple years. Yeah. When the whole world knows what's going on, but yeah.
Right on. Last, I guess we'll finish on this. I'm a big believer, just from my experience in this industry, that it's like, bro, fuck pest control, fuck solar, fuck alarms. The people that you work with, the connections that they can open up for you, the way that they can make you think, the people that you go to war with that can inspire you, that have your back, the loyal people, etc., trumps everything in business, at least for me.
For sure.
I also believe that if you are going to be in the industry, obviously, I don't know if these people don't believe it, or it's too good to be true, or they think, solar's maybe a little bit better, but it's not worth switching better. From my experience, 100% solar is by far, it's not even comparable, the highest paying job in the industry. Yeah. You can have bone dicks that come in here and suck and do better somewhere else. I'm not saying you can't.
Yeah.
But solar, most likely, based off of what people, let's just say it leaves in 3 to 4 years. Yeah. Solar ends in 3 to 4 years, and a kid is sitting here, and this kid wants to be the next regional manager.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, why would I go into solar when it's going to leave in 3 to 4 years? Even though, like, if someone comes in this room, bro, and they have an opportunity to work with me, you, dating some of the people that we have in our team, like, dude, I think people are fucking crazy when they're like, nah, I'm going to stick it active. Like, it blows my fucking mind. Yeah. But what would you say to that kid that's like, dude, there's no point in me being here if solar's going to go away in 3 to 4 years?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, who knows, right? Yeah. Like, people say that all the time. What I would say to that is like, dude, we sold a different product 5 years ago and never sold this. And we came and 9 dudes made $1 million our first year doing it. 300 dudes left, not one went back.
Yeah.
We have 1,000 reps today. Guess what? If solar ended today, I know what I'd go do. And guess what? We go dominate in that too.
Yeah, yeah.
And if it ends in 4 years, guess what? Guys are gonna make stupid money more than anywhere else in those 4 years. You gotta look at your opportunity cost in those 4 years. If you're judging in the next 3 to 4 years, dude, wherever people work at today in door to door, you're not gonna work there in 10 years. So you're gonna quit or leave there at one point anyway. So just quit today. Yeah. That would be my advice. Go where the highest paying income opportunity is for the next 4 years, and go execute in that lane. And it might be where you're at. I probably don't believe it. And you probably don't either. That's why you're meeting with us. But at the end of the day, it's like, dude, I'm not worried about the next 10 years. I think solar's around for the next 100 plus years. But personally, it's like, dude, I take it 3 to 4 years at a time. What's the long-term strategy? There's none. The long-term strategy is to go execute today at a very, very high level and to go build a system that changes people's lives.
Yeah.
Better than where they could anywhere else. And I judge it on, I've been at a couple other places. My guys make more money today because if they didn't, they wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
It's common sense, 101. You know what I mean? It's not rocket science.
Are you looking for an exit or?
No, I want the war.
Yeah.
I want the war to keep going.
What about, like, do you ever want to, you want to build a $1 billion company, it sounds like.
100%.
How much longer are you going to keep going?
Till we get there.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's like, dude, people are like, oh, don't you want to just chill? I go on vacation. I hang out with my family. I live the life I want to live. Yeah. You know what I mean? At the same time, it's like, dude, what wakes you up in the morning? What makes you tick? What makes you go? What gives you energy? Like, this job is the closest thing to sports without playing sports. You get to go execute on a high level with your best friends. You get to go to war every day. You get to go buy apartment complexes together. You go outside and guys are driving Lambos, Ferraris, like success leaves clues. And I'm not saying that's like the best use of your money, but they're not buying it if they didn't have it, right? It's like, dude, it's unlike any other job in America. And I want to go make sure, dude, the best sales culture is wealthy sales reps coupled with a company that's profitable. And dude, solar's like alarms was 15 years ago when I started. Companies were going out of business every other day. We've been around for 5 years, right? Like, making the right decisions, being strategically aligned with the right install partners, the right finance partners, the people that are gonna go win the long-term game, that's my job, right? At the same time, it's like, dude, who you roll with matters. The talent around you matters. The system that you're in matters. Who your leaders are matter. Are you going to war? Are you gonna go win? All those things are gonna dictate how much money you go make. And I would ask yourself every single night, these are the boxes I gotta go check, the things I just said. And if you can't check them, you gotta leave.
Fucking G. We'll wrap it up there.
Let's fucking
Good
go.
shit, bro.
Thank you.